What's up, everybody? Good morning. Sunday morning out here, absolutely beautiful. Beginning of October. We're not quite through the first week, but weather's still nice enough to get out here. So if you guys get a chance, get out here and enjoy it. Go for a walk every single morning, and man, don't look forward to the winters when it's starting to get colder and gotta bundle up a little bit more. So today I have something quick I want to talk to you guys about, and this is something you can apply to every single time in your life when you start to do something new. Something new means something you haven't done before, which means it will be change. It will be different, right? And so in order to have something different in your world, you have to do things that you haven't done, okay? So that hopefully makes sense for you. So as we grow up from a little child into adulthood, we develop a set of experiences, and these experiences are our viewpoint in the world. This is how we see things. It's based on the things that we've gone through in our life. These experiences then develop our beliefs, and these beliefs are our expectations. And this is how we think things are going to go based on how we already had them happen to us in the past, right? We develop this expectation of repetition. And so when it comes time to doing something new, we don't have an experience to base a belief on. So we have no idea what that expectation is going into it. And so anytime we say, for example, losing weight or getting in shape is a really easy one. If you're going from a place of not exercising very much or none at all, eating like crap, not getting enough sleep, drinking too much, whatever the negative health aspects are, that has developed an expectation. That's developed a belief that tomorrow is going to be kind of like today. And so when you start to go against that expectation and deciding, I want to have something different happen today, I want to start to develop a new life, you will be met with resistance by your subconscious, okay? So your subconscious is the natural response mechanism. This is the automated reaction whenever we encounter something. So the first time that we encounter something, we don't have that previous experience and expectation to create the belief of how it went last time, so we don't know what to expect this time. And so usually something that is a new experience causes us to be a little bit uneasy, okay? And this uneasiness, this nervousness, whatever emotional tag you want to put on this, the emotional response is our awareness of the subconscious response, of the subconscious reaction, how we naturally tend to do things based on how we've usually done them, okay? So if you have never done something before, the very first time you go to do it, you are going to be aware. You're going to be very sensitive to every single piece of what's happening in this new experience. When you're a little kid, okay, try this out with little kids. They're very observant. Very observant. They notice everything. Halloween's coming up. I've been decorating a ton, and I add little bits over and over, on the weekends and days here and there. And we run a home daycare, and when the kids come over, every single time they notice the new little piece I put out. Now, I have a lot of decorations, so it's not to say that there is, good to see you, Tony. It's not to say that there's, not much for them to go through to notice. There's a lot there. And so they're able to immediately see the differences, the change that we've made from the last time that they were there and they saw all this stuff and they experienced what that looked like. Their belief was to come back. They come back and say, oh, this is different. And they're very sensitive to those changes. Okay, and what this means, guys, this sensitivity to change is what we call comfort. The sensitivity level is what determines whether you are comfortable or not. Oh, that's fantastic, Tony. It's a great way to help everybody else out that needs kids watched while they go to work, right? Home childcare is fantastic. So this sensitivity is your comfort level. Once you've done something over and over and over, these kids come and they see the same exact decorations every single day. They get used to that. they get desensitized to it, right? They're no longer noticing all the little details because they've seen them over and over and over, right? But we put something new out there. One new decoration. They're like, oh, that is super awesome. That thing is really cool. I noticed the little spider that you put over here or whatever, okay? And so when we go into experiencing new things, we're very sensitive to them. And this sensitivity requires us to have an internal conversation with ourselves about how we are going to handle this new stimulus. This new situation does not come with a built-up set of game plans that we rely on called our subconscious reactions. So when we've done something a whole bunch of times and we go into a new situation, it's like, oh, I got this. I've done this 100 times. We do something new. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to look? Where do I stand? How do I fit? Like, all the things, all the questions start to come up. And all these questions of uncertainty, where you don't know what you're supposed to do in the moment, allows doubt to creep into your head. Well, maybe this new change that I decided I wanted to get in better shape, but I haven't worked out in a long time, and the gym is really far, and maybe, I don't have the right shoes, and, I probably better just start next week, right? Like, all this uncertainty starts an internal conversation with ourselves, and we decide, we weigh all the factors that are involved. My current shape, my clothes, the appearance I have, what people are going to think of me, am I going to get tired, how far is it, what does it cost? Like, all these things, they make us ask ourselves the question of if. And this is the worst question you can ask yourself when you are trying to make a change. Because when you are doing something new, it requires you to be uncomfortable. You haven't done it before. And even if you have once or twice, you still may not be comfortable because you're still very sensitive to the stimulus. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate the live hashtag. You become very sensitive to the stimulus of new encounters. But once you've done it a few times, that sensitivity lowers. Okay? And you're like, oh, okay, last time I did it this way, and I had these adjustments I needed to make, and I'm going to do it a little bit different this time, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to have a better experience, right? And so every time we get across the street here, yes, I am actually out here running in the street. But after you've had an experience a couple of times, and you start to develop an expectation of how that experience will go, and you start to get used to things and less sensitive to it, this is where the shift starts to happen. And guys, I'm telling you, if you are in a place right now where you are unhealthy compared to where you want to be, okay, there's different levels of healthy, right? Like right now, I'm healthier than I used to be because I let myself get real fat, doing not a lot, and now I'm getting back out and I'm doing some things, but I'm still not as healthy as I used to be. All right, so that determination of am I healthy or not, it's compared to am I healthy or not for me, and compared to where I was recently. Okay, so those are the questions. But when you want to make that change, say you're in a bad health position right now. Say you're in a situation where you haven't had a dedicated fitness program, you don't have structured nutrition, you don't have regular sleep cycles, and all the things that you need to have in order to be healthy. To make that change, you got to take different actions. You can't do the same stuff that you've been doing and get something different. It doesn't work that way, right? And so when you start to make these changes and you're questioning yourself every single day from the very first time that you make these new actions, you're going to ask yourself, am I going to do it today? Am I going to get out of bed and get out and do my walk? Am I going to exercise at the top of every hour? Am I going to stick to my eating window? Am I going to get to bed on time? Am I going to have my clothes ready for the next day? The question is always if. in the beginning. And the way to shift the question from if to how much is repetition over time. It's the only way to do it. You have to experience something enough times over a period of time to start to change the subconscious response, which is your belief, your expectation. That is developing how you naturally respond in every moment. So if you don't live by a structured path of what it is that you're going to do in order to get to where you want to go, if you wake up and you say, oh, maybe I'll work out today. If you haven't already made the decision beforehand that when you wake up, you're going to get up and you're going to go and work out, if you haven't already been doing that very consistently for a long period of time, your subconscious response is going to look back and say, how do we normally do things? Oh, we don't normally get up and work out, so we're probably not going to do that again today. Right? You have to make the conscious choice to do things that are uncomfortable. Because your body will always ask you, am I going to? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? And the answer will always come from, how do you normally do it? Okay? The how you normally do it is based on what your routines are. And so if you want to change how you normally do it, you have to change your routines, and you have to change them by doing something uncomfortable in the moment. And when you do something uncomfortable in the moment once, realize the very first time, Ricky, what's up, lady? The very first time you ever do something will be the highest level of sensitivity that you have to it. This will be the most uncomfortable you ever are in a new situation. So the first time you work out, after it's been a long ass time since you worked out, you're going to be very sensitive to it. You're going to notice every person in the gym. You're going to notice every single step you take on the treadmill is activating your muscles. You're going to notice you probably can't breathe very well. You're going to notice a lot of things. You're going to be very, very, very sensitive to every piece of the new experience. But the next day, when you have made the decision based on, oh, I went to the gym and I didn't die and whatever, I'm going to go again. And the next time you go, you're like, oh yeah, last time I was here and this is what I did. And your thought process is already different. You're paying attention to last time's experience, not only the one that you're in. So now you have a mixture of last time's experience, the one that I'm in, I'm doing the thing, and then I'm starting to think about, okay, what was the next one? What is the next thing I'm going to be doing? Okay, so next time, like this time I'm doing cardio and I'm doing some weight. Next time I'm going to come in and I'm going to get in that kickboxing class and I'm going to do some core stuff. And then later in the week, I'm going to hit the track and I'm going to do a few laps. And I'm going to get on my bike. Like the sensitivity starts to go away from the current moment of awareness in being uncomfortable in the thing that you're doing. And you start to shift the question from, am I going to work out on a regular basis, to how much? How much am I going to work out? How often am I going to work out? How hard am I going to work out? How long am I going to? It always, always, always changes from asking yourself the question of, if you are going to do something, if determines the decision, the quantity determines how much you get done. So when you move from, am I going to do this? This means you have made the decision over and over long enough that this is now the automatic response. This is the mind's subconscious choice to say, well, normally we do it this way, so let's keep doing it that way. And so that's all you have to do, is you have to make something happen enough times that your subconscious chooses that automatically, and then you don't have to fight yourself. You don't have to sit there and argue with yourself about, oh, but my bed feels so good in the morning and I'm in this groggy melatonin state and my blankets are nice and warm and it's probably cold outside, and all the excuses that you give yourself that justify not doing the things that you know you should do. And that's what it really comes down to, is the only way to shift from this place of questioning yourself about, am I going to do the things that I know I need to do in order to get where I want to go, to a place of how am I going to take a step today to get even farther in that direction. The only way to do that is with two pieces. Number one is character. So character is defined by the things that you do. Sorry, there's a lot of cars out here. Holy crap, everybody's trying to drive to church on Sunday. Character is defined by the things that you do when no one is watching. That's the number one piece of this. And number two is integrity. Integrity is the unwavering commitment to yourself. Guys, I appreciate you being on this live with me, but I know I'm not special, okay? I know I'm nobody different than anybody else. And you guys happen to jump on here, and I appreciate your time, but I got something that's a little bit raw to tell you. You're also not special, okay? And that's not an insensitive remark. It's real. And this is something that brings you back to ground floor, because if you walk around feeling like that you're different than everybody else, you create a perception in your head that's incorrect about how the world works and how you're going to make your decisions. And the decisions you make determine the actions you take. Okay? So if you don't break yourself down to somebody that is just another person in the world, and you can detach from that feeling of like, everyone's watching me, everyone's concerned with every move I make, everyone cares about all the stuff I do. They don't. And the reason is because they care so much about their own. They're so concerned with themselves and how they look and what people think of them, that they don't have time to worry about you. And even if they do, somebody else's opinion or thought process has nothing to do with the results that you receive in your world. And so your character is the things that you do when no one is watching. That is the most important pieces. Do you make a decision before you go to bed to lay out all your workout clothes so that you're ready for the morning's workout? Do you have all of your things scheduled for the next day so that you have time dedicated to take care of yourself? Right? These are character pieces. These are the things that you do when no one's watching. And then integrity has to come in to uphold those pieces. Because we're people. We have emotions. We are real good at rationalizing things. And so if we allow ourselves to get into a conversation with ourselves about whether or not we are going to do something, our subconscious wins every time. It always wins. So you have to make the conscious decision to do something and not allow the subconscious to have a voice in the matter. And the way that you can continue to control the conversation is through a current moment of awareness. You have to pay attention to the action you're taking right now in this moment. What am I actually doing? Not how do I feel. Don't pay attention to emotions. Emotions are directly linked to subconscious response. If you rely on emotion to tell you how to decide consciously what you are supposed to do, you will only get whatever you've already got. You will respond the way you've already responded in the past. You will do the same things you've already done. But if you allow the current moment of awareness to allow you to remain in a conscious response method, you decide consciously based on logic, based on actual factors, not emotional feelings, then you can decide, oh, yep, I already made the decision last night. Got my clothes out, they're all ready to go. All I have to do is get up and put them on. I got my headphones ready. I'm going to be out. I'm going to get my walk tracker app going. I'm going to be able to do my 2.5 mile walk. I'm going to be able to take a picture so I can record it, because if you didn't take a selfie, it didn't happen, right? and you're already in the motion of moving forward. But integrity is that unwavering commitment to yourself. Guys, when we want something different, we have to take different actions. And no one's here to uphold you in these things. There are people that can help you be accountable, and there are people that can help motivate you. There ain't a damn person out here that can do it for you. So if you don't get your ass out of bed, and you don't go put your clothes on, and you don't go walk in the morning or go to the gym or do some kind of movement, that created new structure will never happen, right? And if you don't do it the first day, you'll never get past that max sensitivity level. But if you do it the first day, despite feeling uncomfortable, despite being unsure of how well you're gonna do, despite any current moment feelings, if you just say, here is the thing that I know I need to do. I'm out of shape, haven't been exercising in a long time, I'm gonna do some exercise. Doing some exercise is the key trick. You don't have to kill yourself. You are not going to get in shape in one workout. You're not going to get in shape in 10 workouts. Okay? So trying to get it all done in one is irrelevant. The way that you get in shape is consistency over time. And you do that by developing routines. And you develop routines by creating structure. And that structure is only ever upheld if you have integrity to yourself. That when I make a decision, I will not let myself down. I am going to do the things that I said I'm going to do, because I'm the one that determines the life that I live. When you guys understand the power you have to write your own story and to live the way that you want to live, it's kind of scary. Because now you're responsible. It's now no longer anyone else's fault that you didn't get the things that you wanted to have in life. That you don't become the person that you want to become. This isn't anybody else's responsibility. This is on you. And so when you operate with character and doing the things that you know you should do when no one is watching, and you never waver on the commitment to yourself to do the things that you need to do in order to get where you want to go, you shift the question from if you're going to do something to how much. And guys, when you can recognize that you have made that change from am I going to do this to how much of this am I going to do, that's when the change becomes permanent. Now again, you can reverse this very quickly. You stop doing the thing, and it goes away, and it's not part of your regular routine anymore. Your subconscious develops a new expectation that, oh, we don't work out anymore, so that's how we're going to keep doing it, all right? So the only thing that you ever have to worry about, guys, really, I said a lot of only things, but really, the main thing in the end of the day is making a choice in the moment, right now, that you are currently aware of. This is the only moment that ever exists in our lives. The moment we have right now that we're living in. And if you make a good choice in this moment, don't worry about all the choices you already made in the past. Those are over. You can't affect them. The ones that you haven't made yet, those are called the future, right? All we're trying to do is live in the present, make a current moment of awareness choice based on what it is that we have decided is the direction we want to go in. And we make that good choice over and over and over until we no longer have to argue with ourselves about whether or not we're going to do the thing, and we start to argue with ourselves about how much we're going to do. Quantity is unlimited, so you cannot get rid of the quantity argument ever. All right, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you jumped in here on the live, please put a hashtag live in this. If you are watching the replay on this, put a hashtag replay in here so I know what you guys are getting to see this on a later basis. And let me know if you have questions on this stuff. I absolutely love being able to help people transform their lives, especially in the world of fitness, because it's such a simple thing that has been overcomplicated beyond belief. I mean, just insanely complicated, and there's a billion ways to exercise and be healthier, but we're all pretty much built the same way, guys. So if you need some help getting yourself in better shape, I did that personal training thing for a real long time, so I have a little bit of knowledge in this, and I'm developing a little bit of a program for anybody who works from home to be able to go through as a structured step-by-step with accountability and motivation that will allow them to get themselves into a better health position while they work from home. So I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will see you next time.